Bathing bulls and buffaloes. A peaceful morning, the sun rose gently over the village. Birds sang, and the breeze was cool. At the edge of the pond, a few cattlemen walked in with their bulls and buffaloes. It was time for their morning bath. The animals walked into the water slowly. The bulls were strong and calm. The buffaloes snorted softly. The cattlemen poured cool water over their backs, rubbing their skin gently. Splashing sounds mixed with soft voices. It was quiet, peaceful work. Around the pond, nature watched. Dragonflies flew, frogs jumped, and a white bird stood still. The trees gave shade. The water shimmered in the sunlight. After the bath, the men sat under a tree and drank tea. They talked about farming, their families, and changes in the weather. One man played a flute. Another sang a folk song. The animals rested nearby, eyes half closed. They checked each animal for cuts or problems, using oils and herbs. One bull, Ryan, was their favorite. He was big and gentle. The men took extra care of him. When the sun got higher, it was time to go. The animals were clean and happy. The men packed up their things. "Let's go home," one said. "Lunch is waiting." As they walked back, they talked about the future: solar pumps, new crops, their children. They smiled, tired but proud. Back at the pond, the water became still again. The birds flew over. The breeze slowed down. Everything was quiet. Tomorrow, they would return. And once again, the pond would come alive with water, laughter, and love. The end.
One of the bulls stood quietly in the middle of the pond, eyes half closed as water was poured down his broad back. The cattleman rubbed behind its ears, where flies often gathered, and spoke to him softly as if telling a secret. A few buffaloes nearby let out deep, relaxed sighs, flicking their tails lazily. It wasn't just a bath, it was a time of care, connection, and calm.
Just outside the water, a young calf tried to step in but backed out quickly, unsure of the ripples. The men laughed gently. One of them placed his hand on the calf's neck, guiding it step by step until it found the shallow ground and stood beside its mother. Moments like these taught young animals trust and young people patience.
On the bank, a kettle boiled over a small fire. The tea inside was sweet and spicy, made with ginger and cardamom. The men took turns sipping from small steel cups, their clothes wet, their feet muddy, but their faces relaxed. Between sips, they shared short stories, one about a buffalo who once refused to leave the pond until sunset, another about a bull who knew how to open the gate with its horns. The breeze picked up, and with it came the scent of wet earth and fresh grass. Far away, a train whistle echoed through the fields, reminding the men of life beyond the village, of relatives in towns, of marketplaces, of festivals yet to come. But none of them wanted to be anywhere else in that moment. Here, in the water, among their animals, everything felt complete. A man picked up a flute and played a slow tune, no words, just a melody floating on the air. Some buffaloes looked up, ears twitching. Even the wind seemed to pause. The song was old, passed down like a story full of rivers, rain, and quiet strength. It didn't need explaining. Later, as the sun rose higher and shadows grew shorter, the work neared its end. The animals, clean and calm, began to step out of the pond. Water dripped from their sides. Their bodies shone in the light. The cattlemen packed up their things: ropes, buckets, bits of cloth, and stretched their backs with a sigh of satisfaction. "Let's go," one of them said, smiling.